Hello Accenture, my name is Pete Masters. I'm the Missing Maps Project Coordinator at MSF, Médecins Sans Frontières, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you'll be mapping today. First of all, just an overview of Missing Maps. Missing Maps is a collaborative project that involves numerous NGOs, the aim of which is to try and provide base map data for NGOs, civil society groups and local government even to use to be able to support the services they offer in the places where the most vulnerable people live. Specifically today, you're going to be mapping a province in the Democratic Republic of Congo called South Kivu. This is probably our most ambitious mapping project as the Missing Maps so far. South Kivu's just a bit smaller than Ireland in size and is home to more or less 5 million people. It's an ongoing humanitarian crisis. The people of South Kivu have lived through war, minor conflict, militia groups, disease outbreaks, you name it, they've had it. So it's a very vulnerable population that we're mapping. And it's interesting what you're doing today because it's actually a new tool that we've developed to help us map large-scale areas much more efficiently. So normally if you were doing a mapping project and you were working in South Kivu, you'd open a map editor and you'd scan through kilometers and kilometers and kilometers of satellite imagery, scanning the bush and the jungle, looking for human settlements. This actually takes a really long time and it is not a waste of time, but we thought we could try and make that a more efficient process. So what you've got in front of you when you sit down at the laptops is a platform called PyBossa. And this is essentially a micro-tasking platform. So it's developed by some Missing Maps collaborators at the University of Heidelberg. And basically you're going to be served with one square of satellite imagery and you have 3 buttons: yes, no, and no imagery. So if you can see human settlements or roads or signs of human life within your one square of imagery, you click yes. If not, you click no. If you've got cloud or the imagery isn't good enough to see, you click no imagery. If you need to zoom in to check things, that's fine. Obviously, maybe you've not looked at satellite imagery before and you've probably not looked at satellite imagery of South Kivu before, so you can double click on the tile and zoom in and out and have a look around. I think the project is currently about 46% finished, so it would be really interesting to see over the course of your day in Portsmouth how much of an impact you can have on this task. So once that's finished, we can then task up the areas that do include human settlements and people can go in and start mapping them properly, so giving them tags and names and all that sort of stuff. Once that's done, we actually take that information and we give it to local teams on the ground and they add the data that makes it useful and usable for NGOs like MSF. And that's kind of it, but I'll just give you a quick idea of the use case for MSF. So for example, South Kivu, it has endemic cholera. Visualization of how cholera moves through a population is very useful when managing the disease, when trying to find a source, when trying to allocate your resources effectively. If we have the areas where the cholera is mapped, that means that when patients come in and tell us their location, we can actually pin them to a certain place, meaning we can plot our patient data. And once we can do that, we can use spatial epidemiology to look at the trends of the disease and respond in a more efficient way. So that's just one example, there's many more. Thank you very much for taking part in the Missing Maps project. If you have any feedback on the tool, as I said, it's new, please get in touch. Otherwise, good luck and thanks a million.